Do you remember what our verdict was? Is what the solve was for that?
We found him, and that's where she heard it.
Okay.
I was gonna go with something about Don Lewis being a pedophile.
No.
Really?
Actually, they were pimps. The cougars were actually like older ladies that they're flying in from Costa Rica. They just had a hooker empire inside of the big cat rescue.
All right, if I get shit for Iran and no one's gonna fucking talk to him about Costa Rica, I mean, come on.
What's wrong with Costa Rica?
No, you guys always give me shit for the way I pronounce Iran, and then you fucking pronounce it Costa Rica.
What is it? Costa Rica. Sorry, Costa Rica. There'd have to be a vowel beside it or like a letter over, and then it would be Costa Rica. I don't know. Sure, Costa Rica. I just say it phonetically, like the way you're supposed to say words, but it's probably Costa Rica, like you say. Now, Iran is you just trying to be like arrogant. Like I know more about I'm more worldly.
I think Costa. I can't even say it. I can't even say it the way you're saying it.
Our solve was Carole Baskin. He was like fucking his own product. He's like dipping into his own product, taking away profits. So Carole Baskin and the other guy's name, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. They got rid of her. That's how we ended the episode. Anyways, it was definitely a leap. But we definitely all agreed that Don Lewis was dead, right? Like we all agree that he's dead.
I think I was the one that said he's definitely dead by now if he wasn't dead back then.
Do you think he faked his death then? We're talking Don Lewis again.
An elite team of private detectives.
What if balloons are aliens? Maybe that's the key component we're missing.
Cover-ups.
John's guilty.
Mysteries that need to be solved.
Maybe Mormons need mountains.
Richard, shut up.
Yeah, do you think he's dead? Like, did you think he faked his death? Sorry?
I did not think that. I don't think it now. I don't really remember what we were thinking though, so man, you've quoted episodes that we've done, like the previous episode from the one that we're currently recording, and I'm like, that's funny, and you're like, you said that, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember my take from the Don Lewis episode. I'm trying to.
Well, you were like more on the he's alive and he was a drug smuggler and he got.
I believe that.
So you thought he was alive then?
I think he was. I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember this for a fact, but it would probably be the same as what I say now. He probably was alive back then. I highly doubt he's alive now.
Let me put it this way. Based on the habits of that man and the things that he got up to, I don't believe he was alive when he was verified alive.
And dead insides. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was fucking irresponsible.
Yeah, we're not going to rehash the whole episode, but the only reason we're bringing up Don Lewis again, if people even remember, is that Don Lewis is the guy that Joe Exotic says Carole Baskin killed, her first husband, or I guess her second husband. He said she fed him to the tigers, which I kind of believe. I kind of believe she had something. My original theory is that the first wife killed him because she was just sick of making sandwiches for the younger girls. You remember the sandwiches she used to make?
Mm-hmm.
But now, it's just Wednesday, I get flooded with like 3 or 4 of my friends. Christy even threw it up there.
You got flooded with 3 or 4 messages.
That's big for me. That's big for me. I don't get lots of messages. Okay, I'm a sad man.
I'm drowning in both of these messages.
But yeah, no, I got people sending me this article because we did an episode of What Happened to Don Lewis where it says, turns out Don Lewis was alive the whole time, or whatever the fucking article said. And I'm like, what? And I went and read into this, and I think we should just talk about it a little bit because it's funny.
Yeah, what's the whole new like theory thing? Like, are they saying he's still alive right now, or there was new information that showed that he was alive at a certain time?
Well, I got a little script here, so we'll rip through that, and then it should explain everything. January 18th, that was the day, an article that originated from what I can tell from the New York Post. I think it comes from the New York Post, stating that Don Lewis was alive in Costa Rica, and it went viral on social media, like instantaneously that day. It's been republished and shared thousands of times by true crime aficionados, different fucking magazines, newspapers, nothing super credible. I'm not gonna lie and say the fucking I don't know, something that's verified, good, better news than like the New York Post posted. It's all like the Atlanta Chum. You're like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that before.
The Atlanta Chum. Don't you dare bring up the Atlanta Chum in a disparaging way. That is a highly respected publication. Out of the one and only famous city of Atlanta, Michigan. Population 287. The best Atlanta out there, pal.
I couldn't think of a good newspaper name, so I said Chum.
So you thought of the best one. I understand.
Sorry, I'm really tired. Okay. So yeah, the New York Post article, the one that I read the most, like the first one I read, which I think it originates from, it was entitled Carole Baskin says, quote, dead husband was found alive, but no one noticed. What? Like I said, fucking all sorts of articles start popping up. Stuff like, apparently Carole Baskin's ex-husband is alive and well, or like, the internet is stunned to find out Carole Baskin's ex-husband is in Costa Rica. It's like, it boiled to that from what I'm about to tell you. So these articles, very misleading titles. My interest is piqued. Where's this going? We already solved this. So I'm like, did they steal our solve? Did the New York Post listen to our episode and just steal our solve? I didn't know what it was at the time because I'd forgotten. I went and read it today, and that would have been great if they popped up like Don Lewis, part of sex trafficking ring, bringing women up from Costa Rica. That would have been great. Then I would have known they were listening to us.
Something concrete.
But this whole fucking thing is from an old interview on the British ITV network, their show called This Morning. This is right after Tiger King 2 came out, this interview with Carole Baskin. So like about a year ago, not even like last week or today, like fucking a year ago. And she was their morning guest, okay? And on the show, Carole informs the interviewers that Don is alive and well living in Costa Rica. I got the clip for you, so I'll just show you this clip. You tell me how much this sounds real.
But I tell you what, one of the really exciting things that came out of Tiger King 2 is that they produced a letter from Homeland Security, and it says that a special agent in charge with the FBI at Homeland Security reached out to the sheriff's detective, George Fernandez, which means this had to have happened after 2002 because Homeland Security wasn't even around until 2002. And they said that my husband, Don Lewis, is alive and well in Costa Rica. Well, and yet all of this hay has been made about me having something to do with his disappearance when Homeland Security has known where he is, at least since back then.
Well, this is the extraordinary thing because, it's...
Yeah, anyways.
There's nothing extraordinary about it.
Yeah, okay. So she just goes on and says Tiger King 2 said he's alive. I'm like, wait a second, I watched Tiger King 2. I don't fucking remember that.
More so, pal, she said Tiger King 2 said that the United States government had told them that.
So I have this clip lined up now from Tiger King 2. You tell me if they tell you that Don Lewis is alive and well in Costa Rica.
I will tell you this, after Tiger King, I got a call from a detective at the sheriff's department. And when you deal with a murder detective, information is a one-way street. From you to them, they don't give you a damn thing. But when we were talking about Don, the detective got mad at me and slipped up and told me that there were federal reports of him alive and well in Costa Rica that he had to overcome. He did tell me that. So I had a buddy who's very high in federal law enforcement search that out for me.
This is where they're photocopying the actual...
So have you heard about this Homeland Security document? Can you read part of it?
Lewis owns property in Costa Rica and has traveled regularly. In the latter part of August 1997, Lewis's wife Carole filed a missing persons report. Blank has learned that Don is currently alive and well in Costa Rica. Lewis has loaned money to various individuals and could live quite well. Lewis could reside in Costa Rica indefinitely.
All right.
What did we learn? Not how to read from that woman.
That was his secretary that said he's definitely gone. And she's the one who said that, like, I'm glad I was fat because he wouldn't have tried to adulter her with me. So that was that lady. That's who that one was. And the first guy's voice was his lawyer, Fritz, the guy that said, like, he was at his office the morning he disappeared. So, okay. Sure, you listen to that clip, you're like,
I just want to know who Redacted is.
Redacted is just like
No, I want to know who the person is. They got the information from somebody. What that redacted means is that they're protecting the source of the information.
I'll tell you.
I want to know who that is.
I'll tell you.
You know who it is?
I know. I think I know who it is. Okay.
Oh shit! All right, sources and methods. Let's go.
So she says the letter must be true because it came from Homeland Security, and Homeland Security didn't exist till 2002. Okay, 5 years after his disappearance, and after she declared him dead already. So if Homeland Security is putting out a report, he must have been alive at least 2002. That's her logic by what I just showed you guys, where we just listened to on Netflix. A couple things wrong here, Carole. This report isn't from 2002. It's from 1997. It isn't a Homeland Security report. Just Fritz's Homeland guy got a report from 1997 and reported it to his buddy Fritz after TK season 1. So when he watched Tiger King season 1, he was like, "Oh, I can show you that he was alive at a certain point." But that report is like a photocopy of another old ass report. You moron, Carole Baskin. Okay, so the report mentions there was a sighting of Don in 1997. If you read the whole thing, in Costa Rica, the sighting had been known by the family back then, and at the time, Don's oldest daughter, went to Costa Rica to follow up on the sighting. I guess she found the guy. This is who I think redacted is, but maybe I could be wrong. She said she found this guy. He said that he saw Don in Costa Rica because Don was selling his fucking Land Cruiser. They're like, "Oh, okay, so he must have been here." This is 4 days after he was marked as disappeared that this happened. So they went, "Okay, let's go find his Land Cruiser." So I guess Donna and her family or whoever went to the guy they sold it to and looked at the signature, and it wasn't fucking Don Lewis's signature at all. It was that fucking guy who said, yeah, I saw Don. So the guy recanted his statement that he saw Don.
Okay, but the point is the Land Cruiser was full of like a clown car of child prostitutes, right?
Probably. I was going to go with the older prostitutes because cougars, you know?
Wait, so what's pretty crazy though is
big cats.
The guy who said he saw him and then later recanted it had to have been working either with DHS or FBI, because I'm reading this letter and it says that he's the SAC/New Orleans. I don't know why they redacted his name.
Because he accidentally human trafficked a bunch of child brides by buying that Land Cruiser.
But it basically says that a special agent, in conjunction with the special agent in charge in New Orleans, had learned that Don Lewis is currently alive. So it's basically saying that some special agent had learned it from somewhere.
Yeah, the guy they found out who was this guy who fucking sold his. He found out 4 days after that Don had gone missing, and he went to his house and stole his shit and sold it. Like, that's what he knew Don. So he went and stole his shit. He was just a Costa Rican pirate who went and grabbed all the shit he could before somebody else was going to come get it. That's all. They figured it out. They found out it was him. So I like that. Florida Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office denies the claims in the statement released to the New York Post. And it literally, like, quote from them, "We have not received any communication from our federal partners that confirms the location of the missing person, Mr. Don Lewis. The investigation into Don Lewis's disappearance remains a priority for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, as do all missing persons cases." So they don't even admit that he would be. Why would they care at this point? If that was true, they would probably just like Homeland Security or somebody would be like, "Yeah, we found him." Just shut the fuck up at this point. Everyone's over Tiger King. Stop.
The Department of Homeland Security is not a vehicle for memes, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's my question, though. I want to know why Carole Baskin made this whole charade out of it, because let's say that Don Lewis is alive and she has proof that he is alive. Do you guys remember from the season 1 where they talked about how it took her a while to get the money, and she eventually got it because she got someone to declare that she could have the money because he was absent, right? He was an absentee or whatever, which meant that he wasn't coming back to claim it. But if he's found alive, would she not lose all that money that she inherited, but basically walked around her will to get, since he had just died, she wasn't supposed to get it.
Kind of. Problem is, in 2002, he was declared dead, and she was in the will. She was the person who got it all. So if he came back, I think that wouldn't go. I don't think his will reverts. It's been like 30 years. Like, I think it's done.
I think he'd be in more trouble than
That's
Carole
what I'm saying,
at this
because
point.
he's committing fraud and shit like that at that point. He'd be going to jail for sure. Why do you think she's making this straight up? Because she doesn't want to be accused of killing him because she fucking killed him, like, over and over. You know what I mean? Like, she's over.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I joked, like, oh yeah, she for sure killed that guy, this and that, and then, but it was mostly like, we don't know, and I wasn't sure until she said about
Like,
the Homeland Security thing.
Yeah, right now, like, why even say it? She's been saying it. She said, oh, I've said it since it's 60 interviews since then. No one's listening to me. It's like, yeah, because you killed him. We all know you did.
She also fucking loves attention, and she does not care if it's positive or negative.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. She fucking will take any bit of attention she can, for sure.
Just the fucking flower crowns and everything. Why would you wear that when you're saying you can't take her seriously? She's sitting there like, even though she's like well spoken, she could be like, I don't know, fucking like explaining quadratic equations or something, and I would still be giggling because of those stupid fake flowers on her fucking head.
No, it's true.
Yeah, but I think without the flowers or without like the leopard print headbands, I think she'd lose her legitimacy, to be honest. Because then she's just some kooky lady.
Yeah, well, then she's kind of just Hillary Clinton, She's got big Hillary Clinton energy.
I don't disagree. I think she is the absolute worst, and she probably accidentally killed this guy and doesn't want to admit to it because she wants her tigers for life. Because, like, think about tearing her away from like the tigers. Like, what would that do to her? I think that's the only reason. I think she would be willing to admit to it if she could have a tiger in jail.
It would make her backed up and extremely horny.
Right now, remember you said that her husband now would just dress up like a cat and get her.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Still think that? Yeah, I'm still.
I do still think that. I think he dries out his tongue just so that he can like lick her like a cat. Like, I think they're gross.
Sandpaper tongue inserts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Google basically says if you decide to go missing for a long time and then all your shit gets sold off to somebody else, you probably won't get it back, and you probably should not tell anyone that you're back because, like you said, he would get in more trouble. So Don, if you're listening, just stay hidden.
That's fair. We all know that Google writes constitutional law.
Yeah. Well, it was some fringe article.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't Google themselves.
Is it from the Atlanta? What did I say? Chum? Is it from the Atlanta?
Yeah, the Atlanta Chum. Yeah.
I don't know where. I just closed. Hold on, I could probably find it.
Hold on, the Atlanta Chum wouldn't debase itself so as to do online news.
It's from wearethemighty.com.
Exactly. Atlanta Chum doesn't do no World Wide Web.
Anyways, I just want to fucking hammer down on her stupid face. I'll take her attention that she got from Tiger King as like people Google this, but I also think she's a giant piece of shit. So it's like a conundrum, right? Like, I'll definitely jump on this, but I'm just as guilty as she is for trying to take that type of attention.
Yeah, no, she definitely brought it back up because this was when Tiger King was released.
Okay, I just want to interrupt for 1 second here. Rick pulls up Google Trends and searches the search term Carole Baskin. So that's what we're talking about right now.
This is this week when, look at nothing happening. And she's like, oh, let me just talk about it by saying, hey, look at me. My dead husband is actually alive in Costa Rica.
Okay, let's kind of explain, because I like this graphic. This actually helps a lot. So at her peak was when Tiger King 1 came out, and like, I don't know, what's it say? Interest over time.
So it takes your highest interest ever for a search term. So I searched her name. So her highest interest ever, was back when Tiger King came out, and it probably would have been like a week or two after. And then obviously she doesn't get as much attention from there on out.
Okay, wait, slow down. So Tiger King peters off, and it gets like, I don't know, 100. Let's say 100's the highest she ever got. Then it goes to like 10 on this scale, like a little after Tiger King, and then Tiger King 2 comes out, she maybe gets 1 on the scale, right? On November 2021, and then now she maybe has 5 on the scale, like let's say 5. So she got more attention out of this fucking thing than she did. So like, I'll take it. Like, I get that, and I'm kind of trying to capitalize on that too. I understand, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, fuck you, Carole Baskin. You killed this guy. Like, it's not for ratings.
And really, everybody's talking about Dawn. Everybody's talking about Carole. But the real question is Howard Baskin, her current husband, okay? Because if she's thinking about killing her husband again, that dude's in danger.
Yeah, because think about the blip of just talking about killing her husband. Imagine she actually did kill her husband. That original Tiger King number would be down to like low, and the new 100 would be made. You know?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, see, Howard deserves it though. Do you see that face?
Yeah, we're looking at a picture of Howard Baskin now. And,
look at the headband.
Yeah.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens! Today it's August.
He's got an assistive walker now. That's amazing.
I didn't know that. Oh, I feel kind of bad. Maybe he's not okay. Maybe she's poisoning him.
Yeah. Why do you feel bad? He's enabled her all of this time to just pretend like she's an animal rights activist, but really just keep a bunch of wild animals as pets.
I mean, come on. You can't tell me that Mitch McConnell Jr. here is the guy running this shit, all right?
No, I don't think he's running it, but I think he's her financial whiz. He's the one who helped her figure out how to bankroll it all with her will money.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how long it was till they got together, but it wasn't long. It was like 2 or 3 years, so maybe they...
Yeah. They basically say that in the original Tiger King, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, anyways, after all this, the day after, TMZ gets on the case, and they go interview the sister, or the daughters, of course, and they give a statement, which is, they say that the claims are, quote, simply not true. Okay, I'm going to interrupt one more time. Rick pulls up Google Trends again, this time with the search term Don Lewis.
I'm just showing you what Don Lewis looks like. I was going to let you keep talking.
I can't without my script, and you just take it away when you do it.
Oh, you have that full screen shit on?
Yeah, I don't have 17 screens. I have one.
Rick's like, you can't make me live without my graphs, man.
I'm just showing you that Don Lewis, the numbers aren't done yet because Google does it on a weekly basis, but Don Lewis is predicted to jump up to 51 this week.
Yeah, because everyone thinks he's alive because the misleading fucking media statement. Like
what is this, true crime Wall Street bets?
I'm in. Barstool, look out.
Anyway, so they say it's simply not true, and they're saying Carole's just trying to create a false narrative, which I completely believe, to get out of whatever fucking craziness she did.
No, she's trying to continue a false narrative, not create it. We've all already believed it for a long, long time.
Yeah, no, for sure. But she's just trying. She found, after 21 years, you don't think the family would have been told at least, like, hey, he's found, you know? Carole would have been told, like, hey, he's found someone at some point.
Well, what if he's in, like, witness protection or something?
Maybe, but they just told her to shut up and, like, dude, trust us, he's good. That would be the end of it.
Yeah, but why would you... No, because I don't think they would say anything to her. I think they just ignore her.
So you think he's in protective custody now? That's what
I'm just saying he potentially could be. And I mean,
we should know better than anyone. You can't ignore Carole Baskin, then she just gets more annoying.
It's so true.
Of course they're going to keep her looped in.
See, I think you're right. I think to risk national security to shut that fucking lady up would be worth it. Worth it.
Maybe they fed her bullshit just to get her to stop asking. Oh no, Carole, you're right. Don's totally alive, and that outfit doesn't look completely fucking retarded at all.
I could just picture like months of planning on how they're gonna get Carole to shut the fuck up. They're like, do we tell her? Do we don't tell her? Yeah. And then they have graphs like Rick, like they're all in the boardroom. They're just like, if we tell her, it's projected to like make her way more popular for the next 6 months. Yeah.
Homeland Security just got a big whiteboard in the office that just says Operation Fuck Netflix. Yeah. How dare they do this to us? We're trying to stop terrorists.
Weeks of meetings just to shut her up. I can just imagine it. All the way up to fucking J. Edgar Hoover himself, because he's still alive.
Did you know that Carole Baskin was a keynote speaker for the All-American Entertainment, whatever the fuck that is?
Yes, because whatever the fuck that is my favorite All-American thing, man.
Yeah. yeah, of course. We knew that just like you knew that, Rick, right?
You can contact them to book her for a speaking gig.
They have an ad in the back of the Atlanta Chum.
Yeah.
Wait, virtual event fee. Let's see how much this costs. Oh, you have to actually... If he would just advertise how much she charged for a virtual event, could you imagine us getting her on here?
I think, oh, dude, you know what? You know how awesome how much is it? That would be fucking awesome. I'll pay for that.
It won't let me see it. I have to reach out to somebody, and I don't want to.
I bet it's hard. You remember those guys who pretended that they were Jimmy Fallon?
You got it. You told us about that last episode.
Yeah, did you should watch that. It's
I did. I
very
watched it
funny.
after. It
Oh,
was
you
awesome.
did? Yeah. I bet she's hard to nail down after that.
No way. If you called her right now and you convinced her that, hey, we have further information about Don Lewis, and you get her on.
What are you gonna call him? Like a little Costa Rican boy? Hello, Carole. My name is Pedro. I know all about Mr. Don. He live up the street. He give me $5 to bring in his laundry. Hello, Carole. I hear you for your husband, Don.
he Miss Carole, you must help. He fucked my daughter. You're only 14. And then she's like, oh, that is Don.
It's just, Harold, get the shotgun. I found him. They're going to Costa Rica. Season 3 of Tiger King. Kill the original Tiger King.
Poor guy. His name's Howard, not Harold.
Oh.
I think she listened to that and went like with the Netflix thing. Okay, first of all, she complains about the Netflix thing, but she watched it. Like, anyways,
Right.
you could have just not turned it on, Carole.
Yeah.
But I think when she saw that part, she was like, my way out. And she's like, I'm going to start belting this out everywhere.
Yeah, she's an interesting kind of like, because she's like definitely really dumb, but shrewd. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's careful about like what, I mean, obviously not what she puts out there. She doesn't care about that, but she is careful about like what she like would agree. Because I mean, like, I really don't see there being any blowback from her saying that. I think it was just like a weird thing that everyone's like, you know, pointing and looking at and laughing at. But like, if she truly murdered this guy, she's still firmly gotten away with it.
The real bad guy isn't her in this. The whole thing, how I ended this is the fucking online media.
Yeah.
And people are idiots for not reading the whole article. Because if you just read the 10, I had to look so many on my Facebook feed of that getting fed into the, like, he's alive, and people didn't. I just click on it once, and it's the same stupid article from the New York Post. They just republish it over and over. And it definitely tells you that the cops are like, nope. Like, it says it in there. It's just the headlines, man. It's fucking bad. That is evil as shit.
Well, thank God we're so much better than that by that throwaway line saying we're self-aware of it before we go and take advantage of the same pop culture phenomena.
I'm not gonna title the episode Don Lewis is alive and well in Costa Rica, although I should.
If you don't, I'll be mad. Exclusive, and just put exclusive Carole Baskin, but don't elaborate. Like,
okay, you want to try it for fun? I'll do that. I'll write like interview with Carole Baskin, pinpoint where Don Lewis is exactly, exclusive, and then we'll
hashtag Tiger King season 2 hashtag watch with us.
That's SEO, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually, and like I trash it the whole time. And in this episode, but people to go in there be like the exact same thing. It's hilarious. You're right. I should for fun. That's how I'm gonna bonus episode. Breaking news. Interview with Don Lewis at 83 years old.
Yeah, yes, you have to. And
Wait,
here's
he'd be
how
84, wouldn't he?
Here's how we absolve ourselves of the guilt surrounding that. If you're listening to this because you found it on Google like that, you're a fucking moron.
Like the rest of us. And if you're listening to this and you're the daughters and thought you actually, like, I just talked to your dad before you did, oops. Not my fault. Blame the New York Post.
Not my fault. Not my fault for actively and purposefully saying you can hear his voice.
I would never have done it had it not been for the New York Post. If I didn't read that bullshit article from the New York Post, I wouldn't have actually read it. So I blame the New York Post.
Yeah, you
the domino
fucking
effect.
Loser family. blame the lame stream media that we're obviously also trying to become. Oh God.
Anyways, that's all I just want, like, she listed him as dead 2002. Just everybody remember that.
Yeah,
she's quick to do it on the 5th anniversary, because you have to wait 5 years on the day she went. Just remember that.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, why are you going to trash your own belief? It's like if you went and you were like, okay, I'm going to file and say he's dead. Why would you want to dig that shit back up? Because if you later say he's alive, what if she got like any insurance money for his death? They can definitely claw that shit back, right? Like you said yourself, he's still alive.
Well, here's where Howard comes in. I think is because like it's all like loophole mania with that because like he is legally dead. So like until that changes, do you know what I mean? Even if they physically found him, that's not changing now. You know what I mean? And she has such plausible deniability. Because
okay, remember before Tiger King, like she probably felt like threatened then by Joe Exotic.
Oh yeah.
Tiger King comes out after and everybody's like, fuck you. There's like TikTok dances about how Carole Baskin killed Don Lewis. I think I'd be like, feel even more threatened and be like, no, he's alive. Even if I didn't do it, you know? So it could be just self-preservation, really. Like, I don't feel like getting hate mail anymore.
No, I think she's got a victimization fetish.
Yeah.
I think I don't think she likes it in the way that, like, I don't think it's good for her. I don't think it's a healthy or, like, normal human behavior. But I think she's drawn to it without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it could be this was totally on purpose.
Oh, exactly. She could be just dwindling in people coming to the park. So she's like, how do I get people back into the park? Just big cat rescue, big cat rescue, big cat rescue.
Yep.
Get it set a
Nope,
bunch.
Don Lewis is alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Cha-ching. Now I can not pay more employees.
I just watched Private Dicks and I think RJ's the funniest.
What? Come on!
Hey there, all you private dickheads. That's probably not the name we're gonna stick with. Anyways, RJ here. I am here to tell you thank you for listening to another episode of Private Dicks. If you liked what you heard, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere they take your reviews, drop us 5 stars, say something nice. Also, what you just heard was from last season. If you want current episodes as they're dropped, head on over to patreon.com and search up Unethical Podcast. That's our mother podcast. I was not aware Private Dicks was a spinoff. I'm going to renegotiate my contract. On Patreon is a full 16-episode season more of Private Dicks, uncut videos of each episode, and many more things are getting added all the time. You can also find all of Unethical's content on there, so go listen to that. And if you're already a patron, fuck yeah, dude. You're the best.